Seamus shook Timmy's hand. I don't mind. Right, Seamus. Kevin is one of our keepers. He wears glasses. He is very kind. Sometimes I pinch his glasses, and I don't give them back until the third time he says, Boris, come on, that's enough. 3 times, got you. Now, when he comes in at night to open our box for us to go into our sleeping quarters, I jump onto his right shoulder, I grab his hat. It's our little game. Only do this to Kevin. The older keeper, Bald Pete, is miserable. He's not cruel, but he's just got no sense of humour. Give him his cap back about 2 minutes later. It makes him laugh. Petra, I think she's nearly 2. She's very, very timid. Then there is Coco. Now he can seem very moody. He's in constant pain with his joints. He has something the vet called arthritis. He also has a problem with his teeth. He is going to get these seen to by a vet, but it's quite radical treatment, which is expensive. Do you have any habits I should learn about? Don't think so. I don't have any habits. Timmy laughed. What? Asked Boris indignantly. Oh, nothing really. Come on, Timmy. You clearly thought of something. Timmy blushed. It's just that when you eat, you fold your left ear down. What? No, I don't. You do, Boris. I promise. Then Timmy showed him what he meant. As he pretended to chew, he held his left ear down. I don't do that. It's ridiculous, said Boris, sulking. Boris, my boy, said Mighty Oak, it's imperative that Seamus can imitate you as best as possible to help your zoo. Timmy is your friend. He doesn't mean it nastily. He merely noticed that his new friend has a little quirky habit. Everyone has habits. Timmy, can you think of any of yours? Timmy's little face was red. He wished he hadn't said anything at all. I have one. I don't like cracks. Cracks? Boris and Seamus looked at each other. Yes, I don't like cracks in paths, roads. I try never to tread on any cracks. Why, Timmy? It's unlucky, that's all. Timmy wished he hadn't said. Boris and Seamus looked like this was very strange. Seamus remembered when he was at home he had this thing that he would have to tap the cage 10 times before Jed reached the end of the vegetable patch. He didn't mention that. Boris, that's no stranger than ours. Anyone's. You're right, said Boris. What's yours, sir? Timmy and Seamus looked shocked at Boris's question. Timmy thought to himself, I see where the expression cheeky monkey comes from. Timmy, have you noticed what Mighty Oaks might be? Oh no, don't get me involved. Poor Timmy is wishing he'd never jumped up here now. Have you, Timmy? Timmy, have you? Said Mighty Oak. I can't think of anything. Come on, Timmy, I must do something. Just one habit. Just a small thing. Hardly worth mentioning. Go on, said the mighty tree. You dance. Mighty Oak laughed. Yes, whenever you hear music or someone singing, you wave your branches gently around. We all say, look, Mighty Oak's dancing again. The 3 pals looked awkwardly at each other. Mighty Oak laughed so much that some of his branches waved. A bird flew off, rather disgruntled at being woken up. You see, Boris, all of us, my boy. Teach Seamus as much as you can. They carried on for the rest of the day. By 5 o'clock, Seamus had pretty much learned everything he needed, including Boris's likes and dislikes of food. Now, Seamus, we need Boris to stay here. You catch up on sleep. You have a busy time ahead of you. We will sort out food for you. Boris winked at Seamus. You get fed really well here. Then we will arrange a lift for the zoo in the morning, tomorrow morning. Seamus looked apprehensive. It was quite a task he was going to undertake. He had never been to a zoo, although Boris had assured him the keepers were kind. What worried Seamus the most was meeting Coco. Mighty Oak sensed his trepidation and said he was sure everything would go to plan. The keepers never expected Copy Capuchin would turn up. Timmy piped up, which was unusual for this quiet squirrel. He'd obviously thought a lot on this very subject. He said, "You see, why Mighty Oak's plans work is because of the humans, the way they look at things in such a logical way. They don't believe in magic and definitely do not think animals can be clever. We're dumb creatures. We can learn tricks, but we don't have the power to think or reason. Humans will go for the first logical reason. We could not achieve our missions if they didn't think like that. So, really, Timmy, you're saying they're stupid?" The three friends laughed. Mighty Oak said, "Timmy, you're very wise, young man. Seamus, humans aren't stupid. Their brains just make them think differently." "Yes, sir." However, the three friends looked at each other, thinking something quite different. "Sir, if Seamus is leaving early tomorrow, can we play with some of our friends?" "Of course. Not too loud, though." Boris, Seamus and Timmy jumped down to the lower branches. They were soon joined by some birds and a couple of other squirrels. Seamus asked if there was any red squirrels here. "We've got red squirrels at home." "No, not any more," said Roy, a blackbird. Well, there is quite a few of you, no doubt wanting to meet our two visitors, but please play quietly." "What shall we play?" asked Philip. "Let's play hide and seek," said Lulu, his sister. "No, I've an idea. As Boris and Seamus are our guests, let's play a game that they choose." Yes, they all agreed that was a good idea. Boris was excited, and he promptly placed his whole hand into Timmy's mouth. Timmy was horrified. What was he supposed to do? Philip, Lulu, all the others tried so hard not to laugh. Timmy looked at his friends for help. He was willing one of them to help. Their tears streamed down their faces. Seamus looked like this was perfectly normal. He couldn't understand why no one else was playing. They didn't want to be rude or offend. Timmy didn't want to be rude or offend his new friend. He really liked Boris, but he did not like his hand in his mouth. Boris grabbed Timmy's hand and put his fingers up his nose. What a sight! Boris's hand in Timmy's mouth and Timmy's fingers up Boris's nose. Mighty Oak was thinking so much for quiet. All the others were rolling around giggling. I don't know what to do," said Timmy with a mouthful of monkey hand. Seamus is quite bemused. It's a fun game, but it's not that funny." Actually, he was feeling a little offended at them laughing. He didn't laugh at their games. Poor Timmy still sat there with Boris's hand in his mouth. Mighty Oak said, "Boris, Seamus, can you explain your games so that they know how to play?" Boris took his hand out of Timmy's mouth. Timmy awkwardly pulled his fingers out of Boris's nose. Seamus explained, "It's a game of trust. Hand sniffing, we call it. One of us sticks our fingers in the other's nose. Can be for ages. We may also suck each other's fingers. The object of the game is to pry the item out of the other's nose or mouth. Or finger in a mouth game. We place our fingers or hand into our friend's mouth. Your friend bites down firmly enough. It's difficult to remove, not hard enough to draw blood. Then there is hair in the mouth game. You grab a tuft of hair from the face or shoulders of a friend. Thank you for explaining, Seamus. I'm sure no one wanted to offend you. Perhaps you could show Seamus and Boris some of your games. It's nice to learn from others. Remember, Boris and Seamus, their proper home is far, far away. We all have different cultures, different things we can learn from each other." Boris patted Timmy on the back. "Thanks, Timmy, that was fun." Right, yes." They carried on playing different games until it was quite late.